Hey everyone, Mah-Dry-Bread here. Pokemon White with only version exclusives was a fun run. Let's follow that up with a much harder one. Today's the day that we figure out would I be able to beat Pokemon Yellow with a team of only Erika's team and moves. First, before I get started on the team, this is actually a Patreon request. Well, more accurately, a request that I think was from my Discord server, but Patreon picked it. I took a bunch of challenge ideas that you guys gave me between tweets, comments, and Discord, then compiled some interesting ones into a poll on Patreon and let you guys vote on it. I'll be doing this about once a month from now on because it's pretty fun. You can just pledge $1 and get every single perk, including watching these challenge videos about a week early, sometimes even earlier than that. Anyway, Erika's team. Unlike in Pokemon Red, Erika's team isn't fully evolved in Yellow. That means our stats will be lower, but we have overall better moves on her Yellow team. I think that'll make it more interesting. We aren't going to start with all the correct moves, but our goal is to get all of those moves that she uses before we get to the Elite Four. That shouldn't really be that hard. I think that we'll get all the moves before level 40, if I remember right, and we'll be above level 40 for sure by then. Our team is really limited, but I think this is going to be a fun one. Like always, I'm writing the script as I go through with the challenge, so all of this part is being written before I've started. Everyone comment down below and guess if I can win or not. This is going to be a brutal one, without a doubt. Most of our moves aren't great, and we're extremely limited in our type effectiveness. We're only going to have not very effective grass and poison moves to fight Agatha with near the end of the run. I could see us having to get most of our team to max level before we could possibly win this one. Let's explain the rules. In combat, I can use Erika's team and moves. I'll need other Pokemon to use HMs, but I won't be allowed to use any of those Pokemon in battle. No glitches or exploits, no items in battle, only Pokeballs and items outside of combat are allowed. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more. Let's do this. So, right off the bat, I use the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to replace Pikachu with Tangela so that we can do the whole run with it. I'm sure some of you just realized how hard the early game is gonna be as soon as I said Tangela. Okay, so you may be wondering why I didn't start with Oddish or Bellsprout. Well, you see, I can catch both of them pretty early on in the game anyway, whereas Tangela isn't until all the way in the Safari Zone in Yellow. I thought it'd be more interesting to start with Tangela since we can catch the other two pretty early on, and thus play most of the run with a full team. The problem? Well, Tangela only knows Constrict, a totally useless 10-power normal move, all the way until level 24. What does it get at level 24? The incredibly slightly less useless Bind. It's not until level 29 that it learns Vine Whip. Now, there's obviously no chance whatsoever that we could beat Brock with only Constrict. It's only going to do 1 damage and we'll just run out of power points. Struggle is just awful in Gen 1, so it's not like we'd win with that. Maybe we could win with Bind because it keeps them from fighting back in this game, but honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if we need to get all the way to level 27 for Absorb. It's gonna take forever, but hey, at least our stat experience is gonna be amazing by the time we're done the grind. I'll try the fight at whatever level I get to there that I think I could possibly beat Geodude at, then we'll grind all the way to level 24, and I'll try it with Bind. Oh, by the way, I know the hardest for us to fight, rival-wise, would be a Flareon, but he's gonna have to have a Vaporeon. I don't have a choice. If you lose to him in the lab fight at the very start, then he always has a Vaporeon, and I think it's straight up impossible to win that fight with a level 5 Tangela using Constrict. We're way too weak. Alright, I'm gonna try the Rock Gym now. Wish me luck. Alright, so this took forever, but at level 17, the Geodude was only doing a few points of damage per tackle, so I figured I could stand a chance in making it faint. Normally I play these gym fights at regular speed and just speed up the footage and editing, but this actually is sped up both in-game and in editing because it's so long. We come incredibly close to making Geodude faint, but we still can't do it thanks to us only doing about 1 damage per attack. Just seeing how little damage we take, though, I think this is gonna be possible to win at level 24 when we get Bind. The grind will be brutally long, though. I've had to get around level 24 in a few runs in Gen 1 before, but at least in those runs, I could one-shot stuff while grinding. We're not even coming close to one-shotting stuff while grinding unless we're using Struggle, and that doesn't last long. Hey, at least we have some higher level stuff to grind on, and Brock's Pokemon are a lower level. Those are just some of the benefits of this being Pokemon Yellow. Alright, so it took ages, but at level 24, we got Bind and it did an amazing job. Obviously it didn't hit hard or anything, but just the fact that they can't fight back when we have it locked in gives us a massive advantage. We hardly take any damage the whole fight, and we mostly only got hurt after we ran out of binds. It feels good to finally be past this. So we're back to traveling, and I'm fighting every trainer that I know doesn't have any rock-type Pokemon. Bind is doing a way better job at taking out our opponents than Constrict was, but it's still not great and it misses from time to time. Thankfully, we're not too many levels away from getting Absorb, and then we get Vine Whip only 2 levels after that. Our goal is to work our way towards having all of Erika's moves, and once we have Vine Whip, we'll have all of Tangela's entire moveset until I actually beat her to get the TM for Mega Drain. Her Tangela is the one with Mega Drain on her team, so we're gonna have to hold on to Absorb until then. I would love to learn Sleep Powder eventually, but she doesn't have it on Tangela, so we can't use it. I figure once we have Absorb, we might be able to beat Misty. It's iffy, but by the time of Vine Whip, I'm sure we could get a win. On our way there, we took the Helix Fossil. I knew that if I didn't say what I took, you'd all ask. Actually, now that I think about it, everyone ask anyway. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Now I'm gonna go get a couple of levels to learn Absorb, and then try the Water Gym. Wow, Absorb actually did an amazing job in the Water Gym. It was no problem at all. I kinda thought there was a chance that we would still take a lot of damage here, because it's not like Tangela's got amazing special defense, but that's when I remembered, it's still combined special. That means Tangela has a total base special of 100, so we're actually incredibly tanky. Great special, great defense, even decent speed. If it wasn't for a terrible moveset, Gen 1 Tangela could be really powerful. It would be a real beast if it could learn something better like Razor Leaf. It can learn Solar Beam by TM in this game, but I guess that's not all that appealing because Sunny Day doesn't exist yet. After that is our rival, but thanks to Bind stun-locking his Spearow at the start, we had an incredibly easy time. Most of his team didn't even hurt us, and because our Absorb was actually kind of strong, now it's time for the fun part. We're getting the rest of our team. Bellsprout and Oddish. So to match Erika's team, we get to learn a few fun moves, and we get to evolve them, but we can't fully evolve them. Although she has her team fully evolved in red and blue, she doesn't in yellow. That actually kind of makes things harder, but at the same time, it's more interesting in this one because our Tangela actually gets a grass move, so it's less of a dud. Her Pokemon red and blue Tangela is just useless. Honestly, this team looks kind of fun to me, so I'm excited to use it. Obviously, right away, I go to the SSN and use our new Pokemon to take out all the grass types to try and get some levels. There's no regular experience share in this game, so it's kind of hard to spread the experience out, but with only 3 Pokemon, it's not really that bad. I just have to make sure to fight all the trainers, and we'll probably be fine. I figure the next rival fight won't be too bad since we have our high-level Tangela to fall back on, and the Electric Gym should be simple, but after that, we won't be far from the Grass Gym. Let's hope that goes well. So I kinda thought that our rival would take out our new Pokemon, but there were just enough trainers to get our Bellsprout and Oddish to level 21 so they could both evolve before the fight. We still really can't hit hard with Gloom thanks to only having Absorb, but we've got Sleep Powder so the fight was pretty easy. Gen 1 Sleep is so powerful because they don't attack on the same turn that they wake up. After that is the Electric Gym, and in yellow all he uses is one overleveled Raichu. I put it to sleep, sent in Tangela, started using Bind, then it crit us with a Mega Kick for honestly not very much damage. Raichu just isn't that amazing, and in this game, Tangela is really tanky. We took it down just fine after some more binding. Alright, so we're getting close to the big mirror match with Erika, and I really don't see it going well. Neither one of us are going to be able to do much damage, so I think the strategy will be to paralyze her team, then switch to Tangela, and hope that we can just spam Bind through the whole fight since grass moves are going to be pretty useless. We're probably going to run out of power points and it'll devolve into a chip battle at some point, but it is what it is. It might be worth learning Acid first, because it'll be stronger. Not strong, but stronger. I'm for sure doing the Giovanni and Pokemon Tower rival fights first to get more levels in, though. I might even have to skip the Grass Gym and do it later, but then the Poison Gym is after that, and it's not going to be easy either. In Gen 1, Bug and Poison types are both super effective against each other, so his Venonats could actually spam Leech Life and do pretty great damage. It's already been a slow run since we're relying on really weak moves, but I think it's about to get a lot slower. So Giovanni was super easy, as expected. His Rock and Ground types didn't stand a chance, although Persian took a little bit of damage by virtue of being normal type. It seems like paralyzing them before we spam Bind might be the thing to do. Gen 1 sleep is strong, but they can wake up mid-bind, and then there's no point. We may as well paralyze them so that they lose the speed advantage, making it much easier to keep the bind on them over and over. How will the rival fight go, though? Next is the Pokemon Tower rival fight, and it starts off with us paralyzing Fearow, switching to Tangela, then missing a simply unreal amount of binds. I think it was 4 in a row, with a few more misses before it actually went down. The funny thing is that Fearow was spamming Mirror Move, so we got hit by bind a few times in the process. It took forever, but we got a knockout. Vulpix was next, but I didn't even bother switching to paralyze it. I just spammed bind and took it out just fine. Magnemite was doing pretty good damage to Gloom with Sonic Booms, so I paralyzed it and then spammed Absorb until it went down, although we took a lot of damage in the process. Next was Sandshrew though, so I got some health back by absorbing it until it fainted. Last is Eevee, but it went down to Stun Spore and Absorb spam pretty easily. It was just wasting time with stuff like Tail Whip. I'm totally not ready for the Grass Gym yet though, am I? I'll try and get Gloom and Weepinbell to level 28 and 29 so that we learn Acid. It's the only way that we're gonna stand a chance. After a long grind in Rock Tunnel, we're finally ready. First is our Tangela, so I had a Weepinbell paralyze Tangela, then spam Acid to take it down pretty fast. We lost a lot of health to bind, but at least it went down fast. Second is her Weepinbell, so we once again paralyzed it and kept using Acid. Now she was smart. She had her Weepinbell use Acid too, so we got beaten up a bit, but we still held on with a bit of health. As our Gloom came out, we paralyzed her, but we went down to Acid pretty fast, so we had to send in our own Gloom to pick up where we left off. She held on extra long with the Super Potion, but thanks to defense drops from Acid, we were able to take her down after not too long. I'm so happy that I grinded for Acid. There's no way we would have won this fight without it. I went ahead and used her Mega Drain TM to replace Absorb on Tangela, finishing off his moveset. Alright, things are about to get pretty difficult, aren't they? We have the Poison Gym next. That would be hard enough in a red run, but I think it'll be worse in this one. His entire team are high levels, and he knows Psychic, a move that's super effective against most of our team. Plus, he has Poison and Bug moves for our Tangela. Not only that, but he's gonna resist our Grass moves, so really, it's just up to Tangela to spam Bide. It's an unreliable move though, it can miss. I could easily see this battle being so hard that we have to do Silph first. Our rival really might be easier. I guess I'm gonna have to just see how it is when we get there. If we get close to winning, then I'll either keep trying or grind a bit, but if we're nowhere close to a win, then I'll do Silph first. Our rival hasn't been that hard so far, so maybe it really will be easier than Koga. So the Poison Gym didn't go how I expected at all. First of all, they're a way higher level than us, but we're actually faster than the first two Venonats, and although Toxic hit Tangela early on, we can switch away from it and it becomes regular poison. We actually ended up doing really well against the first two Venonats just because they mostly used Toxic on our poison types instead of using their Psychic moves. As soon as we got to the third Venonat, it was all downhill since it was faster than us and hitting even harder. Okay, I'm gonna go fight a ton of stuff in Silph for levels, then try the rival fight there. I figure it's probably gonna be quite a bit easier than the Poison Gym. So I got the team up to level 38 to learn our last moves, then gave the rival a try. Sandslash is first, and although we missed Razor Leaf a few times, as soon as we hit, we obviously got a one-shot. Magneton is next, and although it didn't do much damage, it did take a few hits to take out. Thankfully, Razor Leaf crits nearly every time because of the weird Gen 1 crit mechanics. We never actually got hurt. Third is Ninetales, and it's faster than us and it hits pretty hard with Ember, so we had to paralyze it, then start hitting with Acid. We fainted pretty fast though. Tangela was able to finish it off by spamming Bind, so we didn't get hit anymore. Next is Kadabra, and we instantly had awful luck with getting confused off Confusion, and also missing a Bind, so we didn't really get to hit it very much. We hit ourselves more than we hit him. Because of that, we had to send in Gloom, and it obviously didn't last long against a Psychic type. Okay, well that went poorly, but I still think that we could win this if we just don't get so unlucky with getting confused off Confusion. I'm gonna keep on trying. So it took a couple of tries, but we got back to Kadabra in good shape. It just one-shot Weepinbell with a Psybeam, so we had to spam Bind with Tangela. It took forever because he used Recover, but eventually he went down. Now you'd think it'd be an easy win after that since all that's left is Vaporeon, but it instantly crit us with Aurora Beam. We nearly won the fight, but the crit damage was too much by the end and we fainted. Oh, this is the worst. We're so close to a win, I gotta keep trying. Okay, it took 5 more tries just to get past Kadabra, but on this one, we really didn't take that much damage. Although we got to use Petal Dance on Vaporeon this time, it didn't do much damage, so we ended up still fainting and had to rely on Tangela, but this time, we took it out in a few hits of Mega Drain. That was so much more trouble than I thought it would be. I thought Vaporeon would make this fight easy when I first went into it. Giovanni right after wasn't too bad. Weepinbell was able to solo the entire fight, although we were cutting it really close by the end. He isn't quite as rock and ground type heavy in yellow, so he is tougher, but we can still just Stun Spore and Razor Leaf most of his team fine. I still don't think that we're ready for the Poison Gym though. Maybe I should try the Psychic Gym first. Okay, so Abra doesn't do anything, we just take him out no problem right away, as I'm sure you expected. Second is Kadabra, and although we paralyze it early, I keep switching because he uses Kinesis to ruin our accuracy, and we keep missing because of it. Eventually, we take it down by spamming Acid with Weepinbell, but we actually lost quite a bit of health in the process. Last is Alakazam, and I just need you to watch this. It takes forever thanks to his Reflect and X-Defend, but he wastes an insane amount of time using Reflect when Reflect is already up, or using Psywave, a dud move. I mean, I call it a dud move, but he did hit us for like 70 damage with it at one point. We easily could have lost this fight if we had worse luck with his move choice, but he wasted so many turns over the course of the fight that we actually managed to whittle him down and eventually take him out. I guess I have to go do the Poison Gym now, but to be honest, I still don't really think we're ready. I'll just get a couple of levels on the way. I still have lots of trainers left on the map. So the Poison Gym is basically a 2-phase fight. Phase 1 is fighting the Venonats, and I've learned that the best way to handle them is just to keep Weepinbell in, since they love using Toxic and it just fails every time because we're Poison type. All I do is Stun Spore them and then spam Acid until they go down, and it actually does an awesome job. It takes a long time, but we hardly take damage. The problem is Phase 2, Venomoth. We are quad weak to Leech Life in Gen 1, so he takes out Weepinbell and Gloom really fast, but we managed to not only paralyze him, but we even dropped his defense with Acid. Last is Tangela, and it's really all up to him to get the win, but we get hit by Toxic early and we don't have anyone to switch into, so we have to deal with Toxic getting stronger every turn. It's incredibly close, and I was terrified we'd faint, but in the end we won. If we missed even a single time, we'd have fainted to the Toxic damage. That was close. Hey, you ready to go lose to the Fire Gym? So it starts okay with Ninetales, as it pretty much just uses Quick Attack the whole time. We paralyze it early and just spam Acid until it goes down. Weepinbell fainted to a Flamethrower at the last moment, but Gloom finished it off. Second is Rapidash, who also paralyzes early. Sometimes it gets us with a weak Fire Spin, but due to the weird way that Fire Spin works in this game, we could just switch every time that it used it to get out of it early until it misses a turn from paralysis. Then I can go back on the attack. We get beaten up a little bit, but we eventually take it out. Last is Arcanine though, and it's just way too strong for us. It can take us down like we're nothing. It also has Reflect for some reason, making stuff like Bind borderline useless. I think it's time I seriously grind. Some of the wild Pokemon in the Pokemon Mansion are around our level after all, so we're really not that high. I'm gonna get up to the high level 40s and then try again. Okay, so I come back with the team at level 48, try 3 times, and every time Ninetales just spams Flamethrower, so we do way worse than before, and we easily lose by the time we get to Rapidash. Oh, this is gonna be one of those fights, where it's just complete and total luck on if we get through. I think each member of his team is picking completely random moves. Okay, new rule, I'm gonna try the fight 10 times. If we don't even make it to Arcanine, then I'm using the rare candy cheat to get up to level 54 so we can match his Arcanine in level. I doubt it'll get us a win if they keep spamming Flamethrower, but I can at least try. Yeah, I just failed 10 times, so I rare candied up to level 54. This is my first try at that level, and we lost both Weepinbell and Gloom to Ninetales, then Tangela fainted to Rapidash. This is officially a nightmare fight. You would think the level ups would make it less random because it's less uses of Acid to make them faint, but we hardly even get to use the move because Flamethrower usually crits and just one-shots us. If this keeps happening, then I'm pulling the trigger and going all the way to level 60. Obviously, we're not beating Agatha later in the run until probably more like level 70 anyway, so I really don't see level 60 being an overkill. It's not even 10 levels higher than his Arcanine. Okay, we're level 60, and I tried a bunch more times. We can actually take out both Rapidash and Ninetales reasonably fast with Acid now, although we still need the luck of them not using fire moves right away. But I hadn't even had an attempt in a while where I could paralyze Arcanine. We just got outsped and fire blasted, so it's up to Tangela. Then it just has an incredibly slow chip fight with Bind until eventually it misses, and we go down. This is such a mess, it's unreal. 4 tries later, and for the very first time, we made Ninetales faint without losing Weepinbell, and we even had both Weepinbell and Gloom alive for Rapidash, but then we just missed a bunch of stun spores on Arcanine, hit the last one, and still party wiped anyway. I've been at this for a couple of hours. That was my best attempt. I have to keep trying. Okay, finally. The very next try, and we do even worse, but somehow we ended up winning anyway, just because of better bind luck at the end. What a horrible fight. That was astonishing. Blaine, you may be the worst trainer ever, but you still have Erika beat. Oh, that was insane. Hey, at least the ground gym after was really easy. I mean, how couldn't it be, right? Sure, they have some poison types, so grass isn't always a super effective move, but Razor Leaf is still a great move, so we can really easily power through everything. Why do I have a sinking feeling that the rival fight won't be easy? Okay, the rival fight right after was a first try, and a pretty simple one at that. Weepinbell could just overpower most of the team, and even the Vaporeon at the end wasn't an issue, because it was spamming Acid Armor for some reason. I mean, it's a cool move and all, but believe it or not, it's not going to save you from my Gen 1 Grass moves. Grass is always special in Gen 1. Alright, we're on our way to the end of the game, and I don't know how I feel. Lorelei could be okay. It's hard to say. She's got a lot of water types, but she also has a lot of ice moves, so it could be bad. Bruno should be easy, and Lance might not even be too horrible because of the Gen 1 AI issue that'll probably cause him to spam Agility. At least I think that's still in yellow. But Agatha could be horrible. They resist our only moves that hit them, and their Dream Eaters will be super effective. I could very much see us not beating Agatha until we're well past level 70, but you never know. Maybe I'm overly worried. Now that we're the Elite Four, let's take a look at our team. Yeah, I really don't think we're winning yet, but I do think that winning before level 100 is possible, even with kind of a lackluster moveset. Make your final guesses on if we can win this or not. Let's do this. First is Ice Trainer Lorelei. Right away, Dugong is nearly a one-shot, but it just uses a super potion instead of attacking, so we take it out on the second round. Cloyster is a one-shot, and so is the slow Bro right after thanks to a critical Razor Leaf, so this is a great start. After that is Jinx, who's faster than us and gets an Ice Punch in for a lot of damage. We Razor Leaf to do some great damage, but she's faster, so she takes us out on the next round. Gloom ends up hitting hard too, but at least its Petal Dance can end the fight. Maybe I should have paralyzed it with Weepinbell instead. Last is Lapras, who outspeeds and knocks us out with Blizzard, so I had to send in Tangela. We actually did great damage with Mega Drain, but it ended up out-damaging us and winning in the end with Blizzard. You know what? We were really close to winning. I could totally win this if I changed my tactics. Okay, couple tries later, and this time we paralyzed Jinx with Gloom. That let us easily win with 2 attacks. Then we switched to Weepinbell, who actually paralyzed Lapras and dodged Blizzard, so we could easily Razor Leaf. It wasn't a one-shot, but we didn't go down to Blizzard this time due to being at full health, so we could just take it out on the second round. I knew that one was possible. Second is Fighting Trainer Bruno. Wow, I knew this would be easy, but I didn't think it would be that easy. We swept the entire fight with Razor Leaf until Machamp, who hardly hurt us, and went down in 2 hits. Feels good to get an easy fight, but I know Agatha won't be easy. Third is Ghost Trainer Agatha. So this is one of those fights where it's pretty much impossible to describe it Pokemon by Pokemon, because she switches constantly. The tactic is simple. Paralyze anyone who shows up, then spam Acid and hope for defense drops. This is Gen 1, so the Ghosts have way less defense than Special, so it's not really worth using Grass moves. The problem is that they can put us to sleep, they can paralyze us with Lick, they can confuse us with Confuse Ray, and they can heal back up with Dream Eater. This entire fight is non-stop randomness. I've tried a handful of times and actually made a bit of progress, but her last Gengar is a monster. I'm gonna Rare Candy the team up to level 65 and keep trying. but I fully believe that we're gonna need crazy luck to win below level 70. I want to at least try a handful of times at level 65 and see what happens though. Wish me luck, cause I'll need it. Tried another 5 times. Would you look at how close this one was? Yeah, she still had a Pokemon left, but I still got close. I'm starting to really think that I could win at level 65 if I keep trying. I'm gonna use power point-ups on Mega Drain though, cause we almost ran out on that try. Alright, I tried a bunch more times and finally got her team down to just 1 Gengar, but then she started using Psychic. That makes things so much worse. I'm gonna bite the bullet and get to level 70. I think I need to at this point. Alright, this is officially worse than the Blaine fight. Just watch this fight. Yeah, I know, it's probably playing at light speed because it's such a long fight, and I need to speed up the footage, but just watch it. Look at how insanely close I got to winning, and how insanely unlucky I got right at the end. I'm officially gonna level to 75. I hate doing it when I think that this is possible, but this is the worst fight in the universe. I'm not gonna make any progress if I don't start doing even slightly more damage. Guys, I think I'm going insane. Watch this one. I absolutely would have won, without a doubt, if I didn't get a special drop-off Psychic right near the end, making my moves slightly too weak to get the win. This fight never ends. Just to show you another couple of losses so you can see that they all look horrible, here's the next try. Just gonna let you soak this one in. And here's the very next one. I kinda thought I stood a chance for a little while, but nope. Another loss in more or less the same way. Now watch this next one. I'm super obviously dead this time because I couldn't even paralyze the last Gengar, right? Nope. She just randomly stopped healing when on every other time she'd be spamming potions right now, so we randomly won. Agatha, you're the worst trainer ever, but not in the Blaine way. You're the worst in that you're the most annoying trainer on the planet. I am so happy I'm past this trash fight. 4th is Dragon Trainer Lance. Okay, for the sake of not wasting everybody's time, the Lance fight goes a million times worse than I thought it would. Water Onix is fine, but it looks like in yellow, the Dragonairs don't just spam agility, they actually fought back. The first one wasn't too bad, but the second one has Ice Beam, so we got pretty wrecked. Even though we took it out, there's an Aerodactyl after that who uses Fly every turn, and crit literally every time, because it's an incredibly fast Pokemon, and in Gen 1, crits are based on base speed. I'm gonna have to get up to level 80, Aerodactyl is one of the strongest Pokemon in the game, and it's super effective against our whole team. We really don't have a choice. So after a few more tries, we finally get past Aerodactyl because it used a Wing Attack for no reason, so we had our opening to take it out. But after that was Dragonite, who pretty much instantly hits us with a Blizzard that freezes us solid. This isn't gonna be easy. So we need the luck of Aerodactyl using Wing Attack for us to possibly beat it. Then we need Dragonite to miss with Gen 1 Blizzard, even though it's extra accurate in Gen 1. Maybe we can get lucky and he'll use other moves? You never know. You know what? That could have been worse. Sometimes when we crit Razor Leaf on Aerodactyl, it actually gets one-shot, so it takes some of the randomness of Stun Spore missing out of the fight. And then against Dragonite, when I do actually paralyze it, we have a decent chance of stun locking it with Bind. A few times it didn't really work, but on this one, we managed to drop its defense with Acid thanks to Gloom first, so the Bind was actually doing a lot more damage. Because of that, we finally got a win. That was bad, but it wasn't half as bad as Blaine or Agatha. Finally, the Pokemon Champion. First is Sandslash, who's obviously just a one-shot with Razor Leaf, so at least it's an easy start. Alakazam is next, and he missed Kinesis, but we missed Stun Spore. I go for it again, and get it, but we get rocked with Psybeam first. We hit him hard with Acid, but then his Psychic takes us out. Maybe I should have just gone for Acid twice. We fainted, and had to finish it quickly with Gloom. Executor is next, so I just used Acid right away for huge damage. He missed Hypnosis, so we took him out right after. 4th is Ninetales though, so this could be bad. I got stuck in a Fire Spin right away and decided switching wasn't worth it. I just waited till we could get out of it and Stun Spore, although we lost half of our health in the process. Then I started attacking with Acid to try and do damage, but we still lost more health to occasional Fire Spins. At least the paralysis makes it break up early sometimes, and we took it out. Magneton is next, so I paralyzed it and then switched to Tangela and just spammed Bind until it eventually went down. It took forever, but I didn't want to risk losing Gloom. The moment Vaporeon came out, I used Petal Dance for huge damage, he threw the fight by using Mist, and our second turn of Petal Dance took it out. For how brutal the Elite Four was, the Pokemon Champion was a first try. Well, most of that challenge was really fun. Near the end, it became a horrible nightmare, but you know what? At least we got some pretty funny fights out of it in retrospect. I mean, now that I'm not running into a brick wall of Agatha and Blaine, I can at least watch the footage back and laugh about how insane it all was. I really hope you guys like that run. The next Pokemon challenge should be up next week on Saturday, like usual, with Pokemon Fire Red with 1 Kecleon. As always, I'm looking at your suggestions in the comments in the challenge request section of my Discord channel and on Twitter. Subscribe, ring the bell, stay tuned. Whew, I've been doing a lot of extracurricular work recently that you'll be seeing on the channel very soon. By the time that you're watching this, you can go in the playlist section and see that me and my friend Truth have started a new Factorio Let's Play. We did one like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, but Space Age is out now, and we're having a fun time playing that. And you know what? Even if you just are looking for background noise to listen to while you're doing chores, man, that's the Let's Play for you, because as soon as you get me and Truth in a call, we're just making dumb jokes the whole time. It's jokes about Sonic Underground and just dumb wordplay, and oh, it's beautiful. We barely talk about the video game. I've also started back up the what is it, like 6-year-old now Let's Play of Deus Ex, Human Revolution. I finally got it working again. I finally started playing it again. Me and Wadagi just recorded a big session of it, and then something happened, and we're gonna be recording it again soon. By the time this video is up, who knows, maybe it'll already be unlisted in the playlist? You'll see though, as soon as I guess it'll be 26. As soon as episode 26 drops, watch the intro of that one if you want to see some complete and total insanity and hear some crazy stories about why there was such a long gap in the uploads. I also started a streaming series, which is also on YouTube, unlisted in the playlists right now, with my friend Leela. We started playing Stardew Valley multiplayer together. It's my first time playing it really seriously in quite a few years, because I was big into it when it was new. But it's had so many updates since then. And this is her first time not only playing it, but she's never played farming simulators before. The closest kind of game she played is Animal Crossing, but you know, similar appeal, I guess, but still a very different game at its core. We had a really fun time with that. We'll definitely be streaming that more. We always have a fun time hanging out, and that game is just really good. But if you'll excuse me, I have so much to do today, and then my friend is coming over tomorrow, and her boyfriend, and we're all gonna hang out together and have a good time, and I've gotta make sure I get all my work done before then, as well as a whole bunch of chores around the house, and just all kinds of things that I've been meaning to get done, and I'm making some desserts tonight, so that we have something to snack on tomorrow when they come over, because I'm a good host. I have so much to do. So much to do. It's unreal. You wouldn't even believe it. Hey, if you're in the future and you've already watched episode 26 of the Deus Ex thing, you know how there's that big thing that I had to do, and then I had to do it again right after? If I have any time tonight, I'm starting on that second big thing I had to do. Oh god, it's gonna be a nightmare. Thank you everybody so much for watching, and until next time, have a nice day.